Yeah, come on. 1, 2, 1, 2. Just checking the mic's working. Keep going, keep bringing the applause. Ladies and gents, welcome to season 2 of the Fuel for Football podcast. I feel like the camera's not the same angle. I'm gonna work on this for next week, but a bit rusty. Anyway, good to be back. I've been dying to get back, but I wanted to come back at the right time, let the season settle in a little bit as well, see how the new world of a new season start kind of operated, for me to then kind of, offer my perspective and try and add value in the best way. So hope everyone's going well, everyone's at different stages, some's well into the season, some have just started, some, are actually just beginning. So congrats to everybody that's back playing playing their sport, doing what they love. It's good to see everybody posting pictures of them, taking the knee, playing the sport again, training. It's just good to see because, let's take it back a few months ago when we kind of rebooted the start of the podcast. So many people were out. But anyway, we've got lots to get through today. And so, I really want to start this podcast by highlighting that everybody is going to have some sort of ambition at the start of the season. You think about the start of the season, I'll take it back to when I used to play semi-pro. You couldn't wait to engage in pre-season. You would probably want to run a little bit extra, or, you couldn't wait to get back and play some friendlies. Everyone had a burst of excitement and a burst of, motivation, so to speak. And, a season is quite a long journey. I don't know what that noise is, but a season is quite a long journey. And, for some it's 9 months. And that's a whole chunk of the year. That's 3/4 of the year that the season runs on for, which means that this motivation and this excitement that you're going to have is going to be challenged as you go throughout different periods. There's certain things such as injuries that do take place. We've got COVID now, which is, preventing some people from playing, and the guest that we're actually speaking to is quarantining because an outbreak to some teammates. So there's going to be things throughout the season that's going to challenge that motivation and that, that burst of excitement that you once had. So what do we want to do from that? We want to make sure that those ambitions that you have are able to withstand a lot of the challenges that the season has. And there's something that can engage you on a daily to monthly to weekly basis so that you achieve your season goal, so that you then get yourself closer to the ultimate goal that you have. And that's the optimum mindset. And last season we concluded with mental toughness, but now we actually want to start with step 1, which is you having goals and ambitions and targets for the season. By the end of this podcast, I want you to have practical goals. And by you setting those practical goals that you're able to achieve in the form of objectives, that actually gives you 4 things that I want to highlight today. One of those things is focus. One of those things is perseverance. Another one of those things is effort and strategy. Now, during the season, it's easy for you to lose focus. It's easy for you to become quite distracted by maybe circumstances, maybe your moods, emotions, or so many other factors that are out of your control. But by you having your goal in place, by you having your objective in place, it gives you something that you're constantly working on. So that's one of the things that I believe is very important for you to have as a player. As you have your goals, you might want to achieve this, great. But once you break that down into an objective, you're able to have increased focus. And this is why I believe that this is the important topic to speak about this season, because we're going to speak about so much. But if you haven't got this set, if you haven't got this, prepped for the season and already aligned, it's going to be difficult for you to maintain your focus because you haven't got that anchor that's going to keep you focused throughout the season. And that's one of the things that is important for you to have and establish yourself, which we'll get to in a moment, is having your goal, which will allow you to maintain your focus. Another one of those things is persistence. Now, goodness me, are there going to be trials that are going to occur for you this season? And it's going to be very unfair for you, to have all of the ambition, but let some of those circumstances affect you and almost distract you from, those goals that you might have set yourself. So we'll get to how you should be structuring your goals. But again, having the goals set in the right way will allow you to persevere. So injuries may occur. When you do become injured, and we've done podcasts on handling long-term injury, but having your goal and having objectives and you being able to be a bit more practical with them allows you to be able to pursue them in the midst of difficulty. You setting goals, knowing that setbacks are going to happen, allows you to keep pushing and persevering in the midst of negative circumstances. Another thing is strategy, or effort, should I say? Both of them, essentially. But let's talk about effort first. Now, one of the things that we do the most, as I've said previously and echoed a lot before, is train. And that's going to be something that you're doing all the time. And almost a guarantee there's going to be moments where, or there has been moments, I'm sure, for you, where you've gone to training and it's just felt a little bit mundane, and you probably couldn't be asked. And you shouldn't feel a certain way for feeling like that. If you haven't got objectives that you're setting yourself daily, that's what's going to happen. You're going to go to training and it's not going to feel maybe as stimulating as you probably would once imagine it to be, or what you probably felt at the start of the season. So you having your objectives that you're setting yourself on a daily, weekly, monthly basis allows you to have that, to maintain that effort, because you know what you're working towards. Even if there's circumstances around you where maybe the form of your team is affecting the training atmosphere, you have your personal and individual objectives that you've got, which will contribute to the team, and that allows you to maintain your effort. And lastly is strategy. But having your objectives allows you to strategize, where you might be working more at a particular time of the season towards a certain objective. Maybe you might be working towards another aspect of your game. You might be actually strategizing for you to cater for some of your personal needs. But having your objectives sets you with a plan and a direction so that you can strategize. Let me give you an example. So let's just say one of the aspects for you this season is for you to get a certain amount of games, right? Get a number amount of games, maybe even play all the games for your team for the season. Now, that's going by the assumption that you want to keep yourself fit and you're working on your body and you're recovering a lot well. That can allow you to strategize and put things in place, such as maybe efforts and contributions to your recovery program. Maybe it might be more for your mindset, maybe reflecting a little bit more, so that for the next match you're improving upon that. It could be you strategizing in terms of your strength and conditioning, what you're going to be doing for that. It allows you to be even maybe more conscious of your nutrition and what you're putting inside of your body. So for you to have an objectives allows you to be a little bit more strategic, and maybe you can put a little bit more efforts and thoughts and maybe invest in certain areas of your game a lot more, having an objective and knowing where you're going and what you're working towards. And so I believe for me to even go further with topics for the rest of the season, I believe it's so important for you to have this in order. Now, funny enough, it's promotion but not promotion, if I'm honest. Like, this is something that I want to break down. So I've got a mindset planner and actually want to give this away to 3 individuals who will be listening to the podcast and checking in. So I'll mention this later, but if I just open the book up now, it's I don't even want to use this one because I'll be giving this away. Who cares? I'm just going to use it very quickly. I'm just going to open it very kindly and gently. But anyway, so what I've got on page 2 here, is your personal declaration. You have your career goal. Let's just say I'm a footballer. My career goal might be to play for England, the Indian international squad first team, right? So that's my career goal. But we don't want to focus on that, because that goal is not really something that I can be influencing on a day-to-day basis. We've got that goal and we put it in your mental save. That's what I call it. And then you break that down into maybe a season goal. My season goal might be to get some of the statistics that maybe the manager, Gareth Southgate, might be attracted to. So he might be attracted to assists, because a lot of those players that have recently been called up into the team, you've got the Saka, you've got Maitland-Niles, I guess. I'm such an Arsenal guy. You've got some other players as well that have been called up into the squad. You've got the gentleman from Leeds United. They get assists, Calvin Phillips that was. So that might be my season goal. I might put in there to be getting a certain amount of assists that we get the attention of the England manager. Then I've got an action plan, and I split this into 3 different areas. I've got monthly targets, weekly targets, and daily targets via training. And so those are the type of objectives that will allow you to maintain your focus, will allow you to maintain your perseverance, effort, and strategizing. Because you've broken down your goals, not only just from maybe your biggest ambitions, but you've broken it down into a season goal. You've broken it down into a monthly target that hopefully you could achieve something by the end of the month, maybe an assist a month. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but it's realistic that you can set yourself maybe that target. And if you achieve more than that, then great. But you can set yourself a goal for that, maybe a certain amount of games or something of the sort, maybe a certain amount of minutes. Then you can set yourself a weekly target. Maybe it could be a match day target where you set yourself, try and make yourself a number of key passes that you don't necessarily think about during the game, but it's something that you set yourself that hopefully you can look back in the game, you would have seen that if you made that or not. And then you set yourself daily targets where you might want to get yourself in a habit of making key passes in training so that it becomes a little bit more automatic. It becomes habitual, so more like a habit, so that when you get to that weekly target, those match day performances, it's becoming second nature. And so what is this mindset planner that I just brought out here? It's a planner for you to kind of adjust yourself and commit yourself to the mental side of your game, which will include reflections, match day preparation, but then also goal alignment and how you're working on that on a daily basis. So I'm going to speak to a player who plays in the Scottish Premier League. His name is Tshibola. He grew up in the ranks of Reading, moved to Aston Villa, gone and played in Europe, in Belgium and Portugal, and now he's getting closer to our shores, playing in Scotland at Kilmarnock. And it'll be good to get his perspective and see how he's applying himself in terms of objectives and mindset planning. I'm here with Tshibola. How you doing, my guy?
All good, man. All sweet, man. Healthy. Good grace. Thank you, man.
I was just saying before we actually started recording, it looks like you're still in Portugal.
Yeah. You said, yeah. Nah, man. All cozy in my place, but definitely not still in Portugal, man. The weather's completely different, but yeah, all good.
So you're back at Kilmarnock. Did I say the name right as well?
Kilmarnock, yeah.
Kilmarnock, okay. And unfortunately, there's been a bit of a situation that's got you at home at the moment.
Yeah. Well, we're obviously quarantined at the moment, and obviously been told to follow, the protocols.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Does that mean your games have been postponed at the moment?
Games have been postponed, yeah. We had a game yesterday and that got postponed. So yeah, we just obviously quarantining and yeah.
Right. Like, obviously you've been through it quite a lot. You was in Portugal when the outbreak really happened in the UK. Now, how much is it almost like affecting you now? You started your season, you're a new player, or kind of a new player, a new signing, shall I say, not a new player to the club. But is it unsettling for you? Because you probably just want to get the ball rolling, you come back, you've scored as well. Like, how has that affected you this season, knowing what's happened previously with COVID?
Well, yeah, no, to be fair, it's only everything that's happened previously has only just made me more hungry, having experienced probably everything that I experienced, prior to the season has just, fed me more to be more hungry and be more determined to actually achieve what I want to achieve. And obviously we all have, ambitions and, the transition in my career has been major. So obviously I know where I want to get to, my end goal. So it's just all about working towards that. And obviously, yeah, so, everything that's obviously come my way and stuff has all just been lessons for me to learn and obviously make me mature and wiser, not just as a footballer, but as a person, as a father. So yeah, everything's been good. Like, I feel great in myself, like my body, as a player, I feel great at the moment. Obviously, personally, I'm everything, I'm playing and stuff. So it's been good. And yeah, I'm just obviously striving for more and more because I know I can, there's heights that I can achieve. And yeah, I just raised the bar very high for myself. So
perfect, man. And as you're speaking, you're making it much more reassuring for me that you're perfect for the topic that I wanted to speak about today. And you're saying your body's right and you've been dedicating yourself and applying yourself, and that's testament to how we actually know each other. Because I know you through you training with a good friend of mine, James Ralph, and that's only dedication or testament to your dedication to your physical side. And then the fact that you're saying that you want to achieve and you got plans for yourself is showing your dedication to the psychological side, which we're going to kind of speak about a bit more today. And we really want to kind of speak about the start of the season, because I'm sure for every single player out there, you've got a burst of like motivation at the start of the season. You want to achieve, you've got things you want to do. And as we know, it's almost a cycle of like having a baby, because it's a 9-month season usually for most, and there's ups and downs,
Yeah.
and it's a good time to kind of speak about this where we are now, and almost kind of prepare for some of the shortfalls that are to come and out of our control, such as COVID. But it would be good to speak about some of the ambitions that you kind of mentioned yourself. But before we even get into that, like, what's been one of the highlights of your career so far?
Yeah, I'd definitely say, probably my highest achievement so far has probably obviously been, playing for a club, the size of Aston Villa. Probably, I think the status of the club, Premier League club, has definitely been my highest achievement and biggest highlight of my career. Definitely, I mean, it was just a massive achievement for myself. It's a club that historically like has achieved so much, and yeah, like they're a Premier League club right now, and it's mad because I only just left there last year. So yeah, that's definitely been my biggest achievement or biggest highlight for myself. Yeah.
Yeah, and congrats on that. You achieved something that's pretty much most of the young boys' dreams in the country. To play in the Premier League, or to play for a club of Premier League stature, to play with a club of that ilk. And so, credit to you. And you've gone overseas as well and done something that's almost a scary thing for some of the English boys to do. The reason why I asked you those questions, as probably as repetitive as it may have been, is because for you to look forward, you've got to look back sometimes. And so, your biggest achievement is playing for a team that, has a great history and is respected in the English game. And looks like they're going to do pretty well this season as well, Villa. But then I want to kind of look forward, because you spoke about some of the aspirations you have. What is that? What is the ultimate goal for you? You're 25, I believe. Yeah, so my knowledge serves me well there. But yeah, what is that thing for you that you want by the end of your career to have achieved?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, being at a certain level and, obviously being able to get to a certain level. For example, we spoke about Aston Villa, we spoke about what we haven't touched about, but coming through Reading as well and stuff like that. And so coming through that higher level, and then seeing what it's like to be there and everything that comes with being at that level, you know, you tell yourself almost that needs to be where I want to be. That needs to be where I want to get back to. So, having had the taste and having had the experience to experience what I experienced at these type of places, it kind of again feeds me with that hunger to say like, I need to be back there. I want to be back there. So if I want to be back there, what do I do? And it's obviously just pure hard work. It's pure hard work. It's pure dedication. It's pure focus. And so now that's the type of things that I've told myself that I need to obviously to have if I want to get to that level again, if I want to reach them heights. And so yeah, that's my motivation every single day, is to be back at that type of level. Obviously, yeah, I know, within myself that's more than achievable.
Yeah.
And it's about not just reaching there, but going beyond that point as well of that level. I've been there, it's going beyond that point and actually maximizing my potential and maximizing what I have. Football's a thing that I love, that I've dreamed of playing my whole life, and yeah, so for me it's about maximizing what I've got and being able to reach that level and going beyond that point. So
That's an ambition of yours that you probably want to, keep that there, but then you want to focus on the now, which you've been saying day to day, the motivation and the dedication, because that goal is something that you can't affect right this second. And so that's the message that I've been putting across, where it's good for you to have your long-term goal, or the goal that you want for maybe not just this second, but it's what are you going to do on a day-to-day basis. And that's where you kind of get your season goal, monthly goal, and maybe even weekly and daily, like you've just mentioned. So now your new signing, back in the British Isles. Now, what would you want from yourself this season, so to speak, that will be leading towards you getting to that ultimate goal of yours? Have you kind of thought that far yet?
Yeah, well, I mean, for me right now is just to give 100% and give the best I can give towards my club. I mean, Kilmonicas have always been great to me. They've given me, opportunities when it was a lot. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was. They gave me opportunities when it was difficult for me at a point in my career, when I was at Villa and I just left Milton Keynes, and I remember the gaffer Steve Clark brought me in. He gave me opportunities to get back in the game, and then I actually spent 6 months and I come there again, and obviously I found myself here again. So they've always given me the opportunity to showcase what I can do, and they've always displayed that love and backing that that maybe I haven't had.
Yeah, yeah.
So for me, and my focus is giving, returning the favor, returning that love and the support that the club have showed me, and doing the best I can for this club, to make sure we're achieving, and rewriting new history, achieving maybe things that people don't obviously expect us to achieve, and doing the best I can. And then individually, I feel like everything just happens itself. And then after, it's like, individually things happen itself. I mean, once the team is thriving and everything's doing well as a collective, as a group, I feel like individually things happen that, you might not even, you was never aware of, or you would never expect things to happen. So for me, my goal, my target is just to do the best I can for my club. And there's obviously I have ambitions that I want to play for them. I want to get back into the national team. I want to, got qualifiers coming up, and things like these are, targets that I have to get into that frame. And yeah, and just thoroughly just enjoy my football again. Football goes quick, definitely goes quick. So you have to enjoy it. So for me, that's just my aim. And I feel like when you're enjoying it again, and you're playing your football, I think everything else just settles itself.
Um, that was a good answer. I'm now trying to paint this picture for me now, and whether it's for you, maybe you keep it a little bit more closer to your chest. How do you know you've achieved that? Is there a tangible target that you might have, like maybe goals or assists, or maybe consistency, minutes? How would you know that you've done that very thing this season?
Yeah, for me, I think myself, I think probably the biggest, I wouldn't say downfall, but maybe something that I haven't had for so long is consistency.
Yeah.
Consistency in my game, consistency in minutes, performances. So that's the biggest thing for me, is getting back into the routine of consistency, performing week in, week out, not just 1 or 2 games, but week in, week out, having that same focus for every single type of game, no matter if it's a big game or, I wouldn't say smaller game, but maybe a lesser team, not as big as the other teams, but and just having that same drive to achieve the same goal in every single game. And then that requires the consistency that we're talking about, consistency in training, to train hard every single day, the consistency in, my lifestyle off the pitch, whereas when you're younger and stuff, you may not have the consistency that you may have as you get older, because you're a lot more wiser, maturer. So, you obviously tend to look after yourself more and do the right things more, because you may get drawn out sometimes when you're a bit younger, which is it's part of being young. So no, definitely that's the biggest thing for me is consistency. And I feel like once you're consistent, I mean, you look at all the top players in the world and they're consistent. You're talking about Ronaldo, Messi, who are consistently playing 50 or 60 odd games a year consistently. And that's the level. That's the elite level. And, you know, we're talking, you know, there's no injuries, there's none of that stuff. And that's the consistent level to be at the top. That's what it requires. So for me, it's just about being consistent, you know, not breaking down, looking after my body, training hard, consistent in my games. And yeah, and obviously that hopefully will allow me to reach what I know personally where I can go. So
I hear that, and to be honest, like you're talking like a seasoned pro, and you're so young, and I don't mean that in a condescending way. I mean more so that's probably from your experiences and the club experiences and the journeys that you've taken. But what you're saying is only going to add value to you. As I said, I promise I won't take too long of your time. I appreciate you taking the time out just to speak to me and kind of give insight to your mind. I'm definitely going to send you one of these planners as well. It'd be good to know what you think. And yeah, look forward to seeing everything that follows this season, man.
yeah, man. No, thanks for that, man. Appreciate that. Anytime you need anything, just let me know, man. I appreciate it anyway.
Thank you. Good chat today. You know, Aaron is, as you can hear, he's very dedicated in developing himself. And it sounds like he's got focus, you know. And one of the messages that I really want to reinforce is that as athletes, that you break down your targets. And again, like, get yourself a mindset planner where you can actually write this down and work on it on a daily basis. Check out the Feel for Football page as well. I'm going to have a few instructions for a giveaway, giving out away free of them. I only have 50 available and about 20 of them have gone already from people that have purchased them. So if you're interested in getting yourself a hand on the mindset planner, give me a shout. I'm more than happy to pass that on to you and really spread the influence of you developing the mindset as much as we do on the physical side. Anyway, till next time, great to be back and moving on to next week. Peace.